Hey guys, I wanted to make you a quick video this morning to address a question that I'm getting a lot, and that is around why do I have other coaches listed in my downline structure that aren't my coaches, right? If you've ever gone into your Coach Online office to My Business, My Downline, and looked at the graphical genealogy, it can be really confusing because you see yourself, the person directly above you in the business structure may or may not be your actual coach. And it can be confusing, right? So hopefully this video, I will be able to help you understand the difference between personally sponsored coaches and placement, okay? And what that means according to your rank as well as your bonus potential. All right, so first and foremost, what I want to advise you is never go into the graphical genealogy view because it is just extremely confusing, and in my opinion, it does not help anything, okay? If you want to get a view of your true downline, then you want to go into My Business, My Downline, and then Sponsorship Drill Down. All right, so write that down. Sponsorship Drill Down is where it's at. The reason for that is because when it comes to you as a coach and the coaches that you personally sponsor, those personally sponsored coaches are the only ones that have any effect on your business and your rank. Okay, so like if you are a brand new coach and you're trying to get to Emerald, the two coaches that you personally sponsor, one on one side, one on the other, are the only two in our entire organization that matter to get you to the Emerald rank, okay? If you personally have not sponsored two coaches, then you are not Emerald, okay? Regardless of what that graphical genealogy view says, if you've got 100 coaches in your downline, none of them are sponsored by you, they don't matter to you at all, okay? So that's number one. Personally sponsored coaches is all you really should care about. Okay, so what about placement, right? When you look at that view and you say, well, the person right ahead of me is somebody I don't even know, and then, oh, by the way, it shows that I've got like 10 people below me and I don't know them either. If I'm supposed to place my coaches at the top of my business organization, how do I do that if I have 10 people already below me? What gives, right? Again, when we're talking about placing people in your organization, the only ones that count are the ones that you personally sponsor. So that's why when you go into the Coach Online office and you go to the sponsorship drill down, all it's going to show you are the ones that you have personally sponsored. And then as your team grows, it will show you the people that your personally sponsored coaches have sponsored. So you're essentially building your own tree within the greater Beachbody tree. All right, so I'm going to stop there and explain a little bit more about how that happens. All right, so I'm going to draw you a picture and hopefully it will go smoothly. So here's an example. Here's me, right? And my sponsor is Jody and her sponsor is Jessica. So as you can see, we're all sharing one leg of the Beachbody tree, right? So Jessica has 2 legs. Jody has 2 legs. I have 2 legs. Right and left leg. And then you can see here, this one is one that we share, right? Because there's only ever 2 legs in this business for each coach. So you're going to have to share one of them with the team. You can think of it as your team leg, right? And then this little one over here is one that it starts with you. This is like the beginning of your organization. So unless you start placing coaches over here, nobody is going to. The only place where you get this extra coaches from is on this team leg. So let's say this. I get sponsored into the business today, right? So I spend 3 weeks learning about coaching and build up my confidence, and finally I'm ready to sponsor my first coach. Well, in that meantime, Jody, let's say, has been building out her team. So she's been placing coaches over here. And after she sponsored me, she sponsored another coach over here. So that coach would go right under me. And Jessica's an awesome recruiter. So she's been placing, her coaches after she sponsored Jody. Jessica wanted to place another coach, so she placed a coach on the team leg. They just pile on in a long, never-ending string of coaches, right? So I'm finally ready to place my first coach. And that's going to go over here, so it goes right under Jessica's last coach. Sorry, the lighting in here is terrible. Okay, so what does that mean? Like if I were to go look at the sponsorship drill down, I'm sorry, at the graphical genealogy, I'd be like, hey, wait, where's my coach? She's 2 levels down now. That's okay. That's okay, because this is the only one that was sponsored by me. Whereas on your weak leg or on your private leg, then nobody's putting coaches over here except for you. This is like the top of your organization for your weak leg. So as soon as you sponsor a coach over here, they're going to go like right at the top. Bear with me here, right? So, you know, things keep going. And now I sponsor our very own Luz, right? She's got 2 legs, right? Excuse me. I keep sponsoring coaches, right? I sponsor another coach. Jessica sponsors another coach. Jody sponsors another coach. Whatever. Luz is ready to sponsor her first coaches. So she puts hers right here. She puts her second coach right here. She's Emerald. Emerald. Yeah, that's the right way. Okay. This doesn't matter because to Luz, these 2 coaches are the only ones that matter to make her count as Emerald. But let's just say, for example, the process of sponsoring continues on. You know, Luz is sponsoring people, Jessica's sponsoring people, whatever. And this thing just builds to be a huge downline of coaches, okay? The only reason that this matters to you, all of this, right? Let's say this is you. You were Luz's personally sponsored coach. All of this, whether they're sponsored by you or by any other coach in your upline, all of this contributes to your volume. Personal volume and team volume, okay? So all this volume rolls up and gets deposited in your volume piggy bank so that when you become Emerald and you have the opportunity to cycle bonus off of the team volume, then you're going to earn money off of all of this. So this is actually a really good thing. The bigger that downline is for you, the better, because that just means that there's more volume rolling up and going into your piggy bank than there would be if there was, you know, nobody contributing to your volume. Okay, so that's why sharing one leg with your sponsor team is a good thing, because they help build up that volume on that one side. So, you know, even though you're placing coaches in a balanced way on each leg so that you can advance rank and have a higher bonus potential, you are getting the benefit of their volume over here, and you are placing coaches over here to try and balance out that volume. Okay. So the bottom line here is when we say, you know, you want to place your first 2 coaches at the top of your organization, the only way that's going to happen is basically if you sign up today and then like an hour later, maybe not even that, but you know, you sign up and then immediately sponsor 2 coaches. That's really the only way that they will be right after you in the overall downline. But the reason I want to point this out is that it doesn't matter whether they're here or whether they're here, right? It doesn't matter to your rank where they are in this downline. The only thing that matters is that the farther down they are, like AKA the longer you wait to enroll them, the more people that could be, you know, in between you and your coach, your new coach. And so they won't be able to take advantage of the volume produced in here, right? So if they're sponsored right here, they get all the volume rolling up. If you wait, you know, a month or whatever and sign them up and they're placed 10 levels down, then if you happen to have, you know, if somebody had happened to sponsor like a rock star, you know, like a Jessica Nelson, and she builds $1 million business, your coach down here is not going to benefit from all the volume that she creates. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. But the goal here is that that's why we say you want to get to Emerald as fast as possible, right? Because you are building, you're putting your people at the top of the organization, wherever that happens to be at the moment you're sponsored. So, I mean, this really illustrates just the risk of waiting to sponsor your first 2 coaches. Because again, like I said, if for some reason, you know, I sponsored a coach right here and that person was like an amazing $1 million earner, and you waited and sponsored your first coach down here, then all this volume that she's creating, it only rolls up from here up. Your coach down here would not benefit from that. They would still benefit from everything down here, but they would miss out on this volume. So that's why we say, you know, when you enroll, your very first goal is to find your first 2 coaches and get them in and get them enrolled in your personally sponsored business. Ideally, one of those coaches should be your spouse, because that way, you know, especially if your spouse is, whether they work the business or not, you know, you want them placed as close to you as possible so that anything that happens after that, they and you get to benefit both from that volume bucket. Okay. So I hope that helps. I'm going to cut this video off because it's getting long, but if you have any questions on this, let me know. We can always talk about it on one of our team calls and clear up any other questions you guys have on volume, placement, rank, and sponsoring coaches. Okay. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you later.